Everybody, welcome back to JOJ, November 20th, and hope you've got your turkey pants on because it's coming pretty soon.
Thanksgiving week.
Thanksgiving week. It is here. It's getting close to your favorite time of year.
It is. Well, I mean, it's already. Once Halloween is done, it is time to be thankful for Christmas.
I
like Thanksgiving and turkey and all that, but that's just kind of one day.
Yeah.
Christmas season starts November 1st.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty much does in our house. Yeah. Yes, it does. All right. So today the topic we're still on the word forgiveness, but kind of forgiving others is the theme on today. And the verse to share comes from Matthew 18:21 through 22. It says, "Then Peter came to Jesus and asked, 'Lord, how many times shall I forgive my brother or sister who sins against me? Up to 7 times?' Jesus answered, 'I tell you, not 7 times, but 77 times.'" And we've done some Bible studies on that. It doesn't literally mean 77. It's
keep a count somewhere.
Yeah. You don't have to literally just keep putting an etch mark on it. It's some translations say 70 times 7, but it's you forgive them if they come and ask for forgiveness. You're supposed to
forgive them.
You are to forgive them. So yeah.
So it's. I think as us as humans being here on this earth, sometimes it gets really hard, especially if it's somebody that constantly is coming and asking for forgiveness. I know something we always say to the kids, or at least Dot does. What do you always tell them about asking for forgiveness? Or no, it's about saying I'm sorry.
Oh, I mean, don't just, not to say it, actually act like they are. Is that what?
To actually mean it. Like you'll say, don't say I'm sorry, then you're going to turn around and go do it again.
Yeah.
Because,
that doesn't mean you're sorry. That just means you said words.
Yes.
You made noise.
And so I think sometimes, though, it gets to that point of somebody's like, okay, well, if I know that I can wrong you over and over again and you're just going to forgive me, then what's going to keep me from doing whatever it is that you're mad at me for, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And so, I don't know all the right answers to say on that. But it's, it all goes back to, at some point, we all need forgiveness. Obviously the number one forgiveness is, asking for Jesus to forgive us for our sins and, for him to accept us. But it's a daily, sometimes more than once daily thing that some of us need. And I'm going to, let's see. I thought this was going to actually give me that, but it didn't.
Well, it sums it up there, but yeah.
Okay. But in reality, it's just, we all need forgiveness.
Absolutely.
And so kind of in our notes, we've got, some different little things of forgiveness that are hard and, ways to walk through it.
Yeah. The thing what Jennie's referring to there, like it says in Romans 3:23, this isn't the actual scripture.
Yeah.
But we have all sinned. We've all fallen short of the glory of God. And that's why everybody that's walked on this earth, minus Jesus, we all need forgiveness. We all need it from him to have that right relationship with the Lord.
And in that, it says that, across the board, we all deserve death.
Correct.
But through God we have life. And so it goes back to forgiveness isn't something we deserve. And so that's, again, a hard pill to swallow, especially if you've been wronged deeply or, I immediately think of things in life that have happened where you for instance, have somebody that's driving under the influence and crashes into somebody's car, and now a whole family has either lost all of their family members or some of their family members, and we're called to forgive that person. And so it's like, things like that.
Yeah.
I was going to say,
that goes to the point that forgiveness just isn't really fair. It's really not. That's and what Jennie's saying, that being a tough pill to swallow, that's not something that we like. It's really not. A thing, and this is in our notes here, that karma is something that a lot of people like. That they like the idea of that.
Yeah.
Bad things happen to bad
karma
people.
will happen. Yeah.
Karma's going to get you back. Karma ain't real. There is no such thing. If it were, Jesus Christ wouldn't have been hung on a cross. Okay.
Yeah.
Just put that in perspective. If you think karma is, okay, it can be float around a little bit, but I'm a Christian. I believe in Jesus. No, you don't. It's not both. If karma had any real to it at all, Jesus wouldn't have been hung on a cross. Period. End of story right there. So, yeah, karma. Don't expect that to work out that way.
Yeah.
You have to be okay with that too.
Yeah. Good, bad, or indifferent. Sometimes bad things happen to really good people, and vice versa.
Yeah.
And so I think a lot of times, I even think with our kids in general, they're like, it's easy for us to forgive, within our household. And again, that we're one of those daily, sometimes twice a day, sometimes 14 times in the car ride from home to school, we have to forgive each other. But I know, we've talked about it. I'm a little bit of a grudge holder. But, just some steps that you can take. I think first thing is you have to be praying about it, because only God can change your heart, and you can fight that over and over again. Like, if you really want to be mad, you're going to stay mad.
That's right.
Like,
you're going.
I'm not going to say let it go, because he's going to sing. But
but you're going to let that anger be a stronghold in your mind, and you're going to have the first thought that's going to lead to the next thought that's going to remind you of this person did this to me, they wronged me in this way. And then you're just going to build it up to that, and then you're still going to be mad at them.
You're still mad.
You're going to hold on to that resentment. If it was 10 minutes ago or 10 years ago, you're going to hold on to it.
Yeah. And I think, in real life perspective for us is, and you might not even be necessarily mad, but, I think, was it last year? All my days and years run together at this point. But I feel like last year was one of the first, really big years where I was here, you were there, kids were everywhere.
Yeah.
But it's
travel.
It's like it's really easy. Like, I'm not mad that Ott has to travel for his job. Like, he has to go. That's what he does. But it's easy for the devil to be like, okay, well, you're annoyed with him because he's gone again, and you've got to take the kids here. And then he calls while he's eating dinner. I'm sorry, I can't talk to you because I'm eating my steak. Why it's still warm in a restaurant with my friends.
I'm learning a lot right now.
We've talked about this. But it's like something that simple, because I'm here, I'm exhausted, and I'm calling because I want to be like, I don't like our children.
I think you need to stop and pray right now.
Quit. I'm fine, I'm not mad anymore. I let it go. I'm giving them real life.
Okay.
So anyway, but it's easy for things like that, and I think it's vice versa. Sometimes it's the mom that works a lot and the dad's home with the kids, or just in general of just crazy busy life, and I think the devil will use that because he knows, okay, well, if I can get in there a little bit, this one little thing, Ott enjoying his dinner with Andy and Edwin, is going to put a wedge between them. So then when he comes home, I'm already annoyed before he's there.
Because I ate a warm steak, apparently.
They know what I mean.
I'll let it get cold next time.
Anywho. But I think we got to a point to where, I was like, well, I'm just busy with the kids. I'm going to do my thing. I'm not even going to worry about what he's doing. I don't have time for it. I'm not going to let it. So instead of calling and being mad, I just wouldn't call. And then he calls and he's like, why are you wondering why I'm short? But it just kind of creates this whole funny thing. And so then finally, kind of with a lot of prayer and okay, I know this is not right, but to get back to, okay, we're a team. He is not intentionally going to dinner with Andy and Edwin and being busy at the moment that I'm annoyed with our kids. It's not an intentional thing. But that is how the devil
And
works.
you say I ramble.
Well, hey, we're good. You also need time.
Time does heal a lot of wounds, apparently.
You need time to get over it, apparently.
Yep. And time for your steak to get cold.
Yes. And, on more serious notes, you might need counseling, too, because sometimes I might need a counselor today.
What about, I like this last topic.
Confrontation. There's power in words, and when we speak forgiveness out and let the person know that they hurt us, then they know that they are forgiven, real change can happen.
That is definitely not one of Jennie's strong suits. Okay, no. So I'm learning about a lot of this right now as you all are watching.
Okay, but he's really not, because we've had some conversations about this stuff. So,
but she's being much more open in this moment, I think, than in other times. But it definitely is, and I have made this statement to Jennie a lot of times. I'm not a mind reader.
Oh yeah.
I'm not. I never have been. I'm never going to be. If there's something, don't just be mad. Just come straight. I mean, I'd rather somebody.
We're gonna need a marriage counselor after today.
I'd rather you come straight at me and say, "Here's where you messed up," and I'll say, "Okay," and I'll either.
And that's what he says. He says, "Okay."
and then I will do my best to take that in and try to see what I can do to fix it, because I cannot go back in time. I cannot go back in time and change whatever decision it was that I made. So that, to me, that's a big thing. I love that timely confrontation of, hey, here's what happened, and let's figure it out.
You're precious. That's all I got.
That's been a great word.
That is all I got. He is precious.
Yeah.
Because, he wants me to be direct, but I always go back to, if my 11-year-old can pick up on it.
Parker's very good at it.
Very good.
Oh, he's very good at it.
He is.
Yeah.
So.
Abby, not at all.
Well, no. She lives in her own. She is very much her dad, lives in her own world.
She's just like me, so.
Yeah. But, okay, anyways, enough about us.
Okay.
We'll talk about it later. The camera's not on. But the confrontation part of it is, and I even try to with our kids, and I think, fortunately for them, being at such a small school, they have to go through this step a lot.
Yeah, they do.
Because, it is so small. There's only so many kids, and so when you are heated with somebody else, everybody in the school knows it, and
stuff doesn't get hidden that way.
No, and so we personally, I didn't have, if I was mad at somebody at my school, it's fine. I just went to the other side of the hall and didn't have to see them. Yeah. There were so many kids. Yeah. You didn't have to really deal with it. Maybe that's what's wrong with me.
We're coming down to the root of the problem here. So, but at our school, we went to the same school. Yeah. For high school. So, but yes, there was 2,000 kids in our school. If you had a problem with this person over here, that's fine. Mm-hmm. You just avoid them. Yeah. And it's very easy to do. where our kids go to school,
there's no avoiding.
You can't avoid
They
people.
Should be golden at this by the time they are grown. Yeah. And maybe they'll be much better wives and husbands. Well, Parker's good. But anywho. Yeah. So just going and, kind of confronting the problem, whether it's in friendships, with spouses, even with your kids. I think it's important for the kids to see, hey, I've really screwed up. This is, how I should have reacted. This is how I reacted. Mm-hmm. That's.
I know. I've had to do that multiple times myself to ask.
He has a nickname in the household.
Of all of my children, I've had to ask them for forgiveness at some point.
And what do they call you?
Major Rager.
Jake's trying not to laugh, but yeah.
Yeah.
So since he wants to throw me under the bus,
some of it's deserved. Some of it I have to go back and ask forgiveness for. Some of it I don't. Some of it's spot on. So.
Oh, that's great. So I don't know if this helped you at all. At least you should have a good laugh on forgiving others.
And we got a lot of stuff off our chest.
That's right. Next week, we're going to talk about forgiving yourself. Yeah. That's a big one.
That's definitely a big one.
And is that really, I know when I was reading some of this, is You know, kind of, is that something that, how do you do that, or was that something you really have to do, or it's kind of one of those up in the air things.
Yeah.
So we hope you enjoyed our pre-turkey week, and we'll see what we come up with next week.
Yep. See y'all then.